Hello there, and thank you for your purchase of your Whirlpool Corporation washer. Today, I'd like to cover the basics of installation and give you a little bit of guidance on how your new machine is going to work. For starters, let's jump into the installation. First off, we're going to talk about hooking up the drain hose. You're going to need a couple of things to get started. First off, a pair of channel locks or pliers will work. And then second, of course, you'll need the drain hose. Now the drain hose is going to connect to 2 points on the back of the washer. We'll talk about that first, and then you're going to hook it up to your standpipe. The drain hose is included with a nice spring clamp retainer, and we're going to take that and now use the channel locks, squeezing the clamp, which will relieve the pressure, and then we can install the drain hose onto the back of the washer. And carefully put that into position, like so. Check it for snugness, and you want to make sure that the drain hose is pointing up when you're done. Before we hook up the hoses, we just want to make sure that you're using this applied rubber gasket. If this looks like a garden hose, it is very, very similar. Put the supplied gasket inside of there, kind of make sure it fits snug against the back before you go and install it to the valve. Simple as that. So now we'll start to do the connections behind the washer. The first, we'll do the hot water. Doesn't really matter what the order is, your choice. You just don't want to get them backwards. Snug, then we'll get the cold water. Again, doing it hand tight at first until it's snug, and then we come back 2/3 of a turn with the pliers. 1/3, 2/3. Come over here on this side. 1/3, 2/3. Please don't over tighten these. That is plenty snug to prevent your washer from leaking. Next, we're going to talk about hooking up the drain hose to the standpipe. Before we do that, we're going to measure and ensure that the drain hose, the standpipe, is at least 39 inches off the floor. This is important to ensure that your washer will not siphon. Siphoning is a situation where your washer is both filling with water and draining at the same time. This, of course, will result in the tub never completely filling with water. So now that we know that the drain hose is the right height, we're simply going to insert the drain hose into the standpipe where it rests against the bottom of that upside down U there. Let me point out that it's important to hook up both the hot and the cold water lines. You do not want to hook up just one of them. Doing so may cause the machine to not operate properly. So with that, let's jump right in. I've got my hot water supply line here. I'm going to take it over and I'm going to screw it on, hand tight just to begin. Now it's snug, and from there I'm going to go 2/3 of a turn with the pliers. No need to over tighten these, that is plenty snug. And now we're going to hook up the cold water supply. Again, we're going to tighten this hand tight with our fingers until it's just snug. And then we're going to go 2/3 of a turn with the pliers. 1/3, 2/3. It's good and snug, not going to leak. We'll turn on the water valves. Plug the washer into a standard 120 volt household outlet. Now I'd like to talk about leveling your machine and the importance of having a perfectly level unit. Having the unit level will help to ensure that you don't have excessive vibration or the unit walking. You're going to need a level and a pair of pliers and or a wrench. So there are 2 places that you want to measure the levelness of the washer. The first is going to be across the lid, and you want to make sure it's absolutely level. Make sure that you get that bubble between the 2 lines of the level. In this case, you can see that it's perfect. And next, we're going to level the side. And we're going to use the washer top as our guide. So you'll simply take your level, put it up against the seam there, and then check to make sure that the bubble is between the 2 lines. In the event that the washer isn't level, you're going to want to adjust the leveling legs. Now this step will require a second person to hold the washer while you adjust the legs. But you simply go underneath the washer and you're going to adjust the leveling leg if you need to lower it or to raise it. Simple as that. Make sure you check it with the level after you've made the adjustment. And now we're going to talk just a little bit about your washer and the usage. The lid allows you to see a few things that you may not have noticed in the past. First of all, if you were to look at the back guard, you don't notice any water level. You can't determine small, medium, or large load. The washer is going to do that for you all by itself. It has sensors that determine the size of the load and appropriately adjust the water level. There is one exception. Consumers have told us that there are certain times when they want a full tub of water. They were asking for a deep water wash. So we've answered their concerns, and we now have a deep water wash on certain Whirlpool Corporation washers. This deep water wash is going to bypass all the sensors and give you a full tub of water. The next thing you might notice is as the washer is beginning to fill, it may fill with some water, pause, you may hear it agitating for a bit, and then it may pause again and add some more water. It's not unusual for a washer to add water 3 or 4 times before it gets into the wash cycle. Something else I should point out, the water level may not reach the level of the clothes. In other words, you could have more clothes than water in your washer. This may sound awkward, and you may question how it could get the clothes clean, but let's think for a minute. If your hands are dirty and you want to wash your hands, do you put them in a sink full of water to clean them? No, you really wouldn't do that. It doesn't work very well. You get your hands wet, you squirt a little soap or detergent on there, and then you're rubbing your hands together. They're wet, but they're not submerged. And it's simply rubbing your hands together with that soap or detergent, and that mechanical action is what gets them clean. Your washer works under the same principles. It doesn't submerge the clothes, it simply gets them wet and then rubs them together and lets the detergent and the mechanical action do all the work for you. And just a quick note on loading your clothes. The machine loads very similar to what you've had in the past. You want to load the washer with clothes evenly around either the agitator or the wash plate that's in the center of the unit. Just make sure you don't overload it. Don't pack the clothes in there so tight that they don't have room to freely move throughout the machine. Some of our washers feature a fabric softener option. This is simply a little option that you choose on the console, and when chosen, used with fabric softener, it will add a little bit more water to that final rinse to help dilute the fabric softener, giving you the optimal results. We have many consumers that tell us they prefer to make their own detergents, which is fine. We fully support that. We just ask that you try to use a formula that's going to be low sudsing like the HE detergents that the machines are designed for.